What's going on, guys, and welcome back to LOI TV. Now today we are doing our next episode in our 2020 previews for the upcoming campaign. In today's video we're going to be looking at Finn Harps and asking ourselves what do we expect from them in 2020. If you do go to enjoy the video, guys, please drop a like on it down below, and while you're down there you might as well subscribe to keep up to date with all of our latest content. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Last season, it has to go down as a success for Finn Harps as they were able to stay in the Premier Division. A 9th place finish meant they were able to stay up through the playoffs. And if you offered 9th to Ollie Horgan right now ahead of the upcoming campaign, he'd absolutely snap your hand off for it. They narrowly got past Drogheda last season in the playoff, as I said, and they did kind of have that blanket last season of having UCD in the league. They kind of knew that they would more than likely finish in that 10th position. They were probably the weakest team in the league, and they lost some big players at the midway point as well. Now that blanket and that bit of comfort of knowing that there will be someone behind you has been taken away, and Shales have moved in their place, which is a much stronger team, making this season a bigger challenge for Ollie Horgan's side. How different is Finn Harps' team from this season to last season? Well, starting off in goal, Kieran Gallagher has retired. Mark McGinley's a decent keeper though, and he will stand in his place and do a decent job, I'd say. At right back, Colm Deasy has left the club. He's moved to Warren Point Town, and they have brought in Sean Kelly from Limerick. He'll provide them with a little bit more experience at the back, and he'll probably be a better option at right back than what they had last season. At centre back, they have lost some big players, the likes of Keith Cowan, who was their captain and their kind of leader on the pitch and off it last season. He has left the club for Glentoran, I think he went to, and they have brought in some good players in this position. They've brought in Adam Webster from St Patrick's Athletic, which is a very good signing. I do rate him. He's a very good player. He's been around the block a little bit recently, but I do think he's a very established Premier Division centre back, and I think he'll be a good addition to the side. They've also brought in Shane McElhenney to play alongside him. They've brought him in from Larne. Haven't really seen him before, but I heard he's a bit of a hard man at the back, so that could be a really shrewd signing for them as well. Sam Todd will also provide some competition and cover at centre back for Finn Harps as well. At left back, I'm not entirely sure who's actually going to play here, so I just filled in their new signing Kosovar Sadiki from Hibs on loan. I was throwing him in at left back. I'm not sure whether he'll actually be playing there or not, but he's there for the time being. So they have some good options at the back, and whether or not that'll be enough to provide them with a good solid foundation to keep them in the league remains to be seen. It's a big ask, but it's a couple of decent players there. Finn Harps did lose Daniel O'Reilly, of course, who played centre back and left back for them last season. They've lost him to rival Shelburne, which is a bit of a blow for their defensive unit this season. Moving into midfield, they'll probably play with a kind of a 4-4-1-1. On the right hand side of midfield, they will probably be going with Carl O'Sullivan. He's a young winger they brought in from Limerick. He actually looks like a talented player, and he'll be competing with the likes of Adrian Delap, who they got in on a loan deal from Derry City. He can provide options on either flank. That's a good loan signing to get in the door to provide them with some competition and some depth in the wide areas. On the other flank, Mark Russell is remaining with the club. He had a decent season last year, and he'll be looking to improve on his first season in the Premier Division with Finn Harps by going on and having a successful campaign next season. Mikey Place was playing left wing, I think, a good bit last season as well. He has moved to Galway United in the first division. He was actually doing alright for them towards the end of last season as well, so that's a bit of a loss for Finn Harps. Mark Timlin had signed a new deal with Finn Harps. That was really good news. He's a very good player, but he has suffered a really bad injury. I think he's out for the rest of the season, out for that entire campaign, which is a big blow for Finn Harps. And we wish him the best of luck with his recovery and hope it's a speedy one. So in central midfield, we could see new signing Leo Donnellan. He was brought in as a free agent. He was on trial with Finn Harps for a little while. Apparently did very well, impressed the club, and they have brought him in. He could play alongside Rory Harkin. He's a 29-year-old midfielder. He does a job in there, kind of a CDM type. Holds the midfield well together. And he's going to be very important for Finn Harps' success this season. Tony McNamee will also provide a lot of competition in that midfield area for Finn Harps. But speaking of McNamee, their big marquee signing, his brother Barry has signed for the club. This could go down as one of the signings this season, especially if it leads to Finn Harps being able to survive this season. Barry McNamee will play in that number 10 camp position. He is on his day one of the best, most technically gifted players in the league, I think, in my opinion. So he's a really talented player. He's shown it with Derry. He showed it at times with Cork when he spent the season there, that he is top drawer. And I do really rate him a lot. He's a lovely left foot on him, very creative. In a relegation battle, you need moments of quality and moments of brilliance to get you out of it. And Barry McNamee is a man who can do that, whether it be with a set piece or just a bit of skill out of nowhere. He can definitely pop up with some big moments this season. Some good news in the attacking department for Finn Harps is that Rafael Crotaro is staying on for another season. He was actually did well for them last year. He was planning on retiring, but apparently Ollie Horgan has talked him into doing another season with the club. He's 38 years of age, so fair play to him. He still gets around the pitch, looks like not a day over 30, and it's great news to hear that he'll be playing in the league again next season. I'm not sure if that's entirely confirmed or not, but the rumour is that he will be remaining with the club for next season, which is fantastic. And he will provide a goal threat. Just gets in and around the box, and he's a good player to have in your squad, especially in a relegation battle. And if you do get a playoff place, he's the type of player you want with that experience, even in the dressing room and stuff like that. For the younger lads, he's something to look up to and really admire. Big blow for Finn Harps, of course, is losing Nathan Boyle. He was their top goal scorer last season, provided a real threat in the final third. He's actually a very good centre forward, and they have lost him, but they have replaced him with Ryan Connolly from Galway United, who will lead the line for them this season. He's formerly with Shamrock Rovers. He has a good strike on him. I'm not entirely convinced that he's cut out for playing in the Premier Division as a lone striker type, but that remains to be seen whether he can fill the boots of Nathan Boyle. But it doesn't. That's what I'm worried about. Finn Harps is whether they have enough goals or not. I don't think they do. So I am worried about them in that department. In terms of aspirations for the season, it doesn't really get much simpler than Finn Harps is for the 2020 campaign. Survival. That is literally all that's on the agenda from this season. Most people, including myself, would probably predict Finn Harps to go down this season. Make sure to check out my league table predictions. There's a previous video on the channel, so make sure to go check that out. But yeah, I think most people would probably predict Finn Harps to finish bottom. On paper, they probably have the weakest squad and the weakest starting 11, but of course it's possible that they could survive. I think home form is going to be crucial for them. They did have a decent record at home last season. It's a really uncomfortable trip all the way up to Donegal, and Finn Harps is really need to take advantage of that. Big cold nights in Ballybuffet make it a horrible away day, and try and get as many points as they can at home. And as I've said, Barry McNamee is a really good signing for them, and he could really provide the difference in a lot of games this season and be the difference between going down and staying up. His creative quality in the final third might just be enough to keep Finn Harps' head above water for another season in the Premier Division. Anyway guys, there you have it, my video on Finn Harps and what to expect from them in the 2020 campaign. Let me know down in the comments below how you expect Finn Harps to get on this season, especially Finn Harps fans. If any of you watching this video, let me know what you think of your chances for the upcoming campaign down in the comments below. Really hope you enjoyed the video guys, and please make sure to drop a like on it down below if you did, and please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Have a good one.